Welcome to Blonde Cards and Crafts. Let's make something together. Hello everyone. Today I want to share with you this card that I've made, and I'm going to make another one, and I'm going to do it in the kind of boyish colors. This one is lovely in pink. So I'm inspired by this deck of toppers that I got. They're by Hunky Dory and they come with 54 images inside the box, and they're 250 GSM. There's 18 designs and there's 3 of each design, and I had a card up on my Facebook page and I tagged a magazine in it, and they actually showed my card in their magazine. So this is one of the little gifts that I got from them, and I love all these little teddy bear images. They're so cute. There's great masculine ones and lovely feminine ones as well. So I've used 3 of the feminine ones in my girl card that you can see below my hands in pink, and I've taken 3 of the masculine images for the little boy card, or the masculine card we're going to make. So right, let's put these away and let's get on with making our card. Now before I do, I just want to share with you what you can actually do is there's a little bit of something sticky there. I'll get that off. But what I've done with some of these is I have put them in my laminator and laminated them, and I put magnets then behind them, and they make for a great little gift to go inside someone's card. You know, they'll have a little fridge magnet, or they can stick it on, you know, anything metal. I have a couple up here in my craft room, but just another option of something to do with those toppers. You can make magnets as well as lovely cards using them. So this is the card we're making, and because it's a gatefold 5x7 card, I have a band on it. So our gatefold means that it's opening in the center. So our little belly band just slides off the top, just like that. And then when you open it, it parts at the center. I love that little topper, it's so cute. And when we open the card, inside there's 2 floating panels. And there's no dies required to do this. I've just used some card that I had in my stash. Now this card was inspired by Dawn from Dawn's Stamping Thoughts, and she's a Stampin' Up demonstrator, but being in Ireland I can't get Stampin' Up products. Well, if you have a UK post pal address you can get them, but specifically the Stampin' Up doesn't sell within the Republic of Ireland. But I love watching Dawn, and I love this clever idea she had. I adjusted mine a little bit differently to how she does hers. I used the Jennifer Maguire trick, and I'll link both of those videos down below in the description. But I just thought this was so cute that when you open the card, these 2 little floating panels just open up and show you your sentiment inside. So when it's closed, it's, you know, it's still a very slim card, so it shouldn't cost anything extra in postage. And the belly band then, it just slides over the top and then just slide it down. Now make sure if you're embellishing the front of the card, you don't have anything that this is going to get caught on. That's why I just have the topper on the front there with the sentiment on the band itself. Okay, so here's everything that I have for doing our masculine card. I have this strip of paper here, and it measures 1 inch by 11 3/4, and the pattern paper here measures 3/4 of an inch by 11 3/4. And I'm just going to sit one on top there like that, and that's going to make our belly band. Now you can make the belly band as wide as you want. I went with 1 inch. These are our mats and layers for inside the card, and this blue mat measures 6 3/4 by 4 3/4, and then I'm going down by 1/4 of an inch on our inside papers and on our white paper for the sentiment. I have a little strip here that's about 1/4 of an inch wide and 4 inches long, and that's going to go at the bottom of the white piece there for our sentiment. So you can see there I have all the measurements for the different things, so you can pause the video here and make a note of my sizes if that's what you'd like to do. So pause the screen now and you can take down a note of all the measurements. These are the inside floating panels. You'll need 2 of the blue mats and 2 toppers or 2 images for inside. This is for the outside front of the card, and you'll need a blue mat and a topper. Then these are the 2 panels on the front, the outside of the card. You'll need 2 mats in the blue and then 2 mats in your pot-earned paper, or DSP as it's called. I also have these 2 strips of paper as well, and these are for the mechanism for our floating panels. So I'm going to go ahead now and speed everything up and assemble our card. I have a piece of heavy cardstock, and this is going to be our card base. It measures 10 by 7, and I'm scoring at 2.5 and 7.5, and then I'm going to fold in on those score lines and then burnish those score lines. This is going to make our gatefold card. These 2 strips will be the mechanisms, and they measure 3/4 of an inch by 3 3/4. We're going to score these at 3/4, 1.5, 2 1/4, 3 and 3 1/4, and then we're going to fold them on the score lines, and then we're going to stick them together so we have a little cube. Now you can use red liner tape or score tape or liquid adhesive. I'm using my liquid adhesive. It's the Cosmic Shimmer, and it's Specialist Acrylic Glue. Cosmic Shimmer Glue, that's what I'm using for my project today. So I have my 2 little cubes stuck together for our mechanism. Now I didn't have enough of this patterned paper for my belly band, so I stuck 2 pieces together to make one long piece, and I'm using my liquid adhesive to stick my patterned paper down on my belly band. Okay, so I have the 2 front panels for the gate part of our card, and I'm going to stick my mats and layers together. I like this patterned paper. It's a kind of a heavy patterned paper. I'd say it's about 250 GSM. The only thing is, when it folds, it cracks a little, which it will do later when I get to my belly band, but I think it's just such a lovely masculine looking paper, and that's why I chose it for this card today. I felt the colors in the paper were reflected in the little bears. So now we'll stick our second panel down, and that's basically the front of our card done. Simple, short of our little panel that we're going to stick on the front, but I'll get to that shortly. Right, so here I have my patterned paper, my blue mat and my white card, and these are for the inside of our card. I'm going to stick my patterned paper down, then I'm going to stick down my white card. Now you can stamp your sentiments down now if you want. I waited until later. I'm fairly confident with the stamps I'm using that I'll get a good image, but if you want, you can at this point stick down the sentiment of what you want to say. Okay, so this is our panel for the front of the card that I'm sticking down on its mat. And now I'm going to stick down the little toppers for the inside for our floating panels. And I love the liquid adhesive because it gives me a bit of wiggle room so that I can make sure that I'm getting an even size border on my matte layer. And sometimes I find that quite hard to do, especially if I'm recording a video, because I can't actually look over on top of what I'm doing because the camera is above my head. So the liquid adhesive works really great for me. So now we have our little mechanism, and I've put some glue on it, and I'm trying to go nice and slowly here to show you what I'm doing. I'm going to put one mechanism to the left hand side of this topper, and you can see there it's just one side. I've paused the video, one side is stuck to it on the left hand side. Now what we're going to do is we're going to stick that onto our inside piece, but first I'm going to put my little mechanism on my other topper. So a little bit of glue on one face of our mechanism, and I'm sticking that to the right hand side of this topper, and I'm making sure I have good connection between the white mechanism and my matte layer. Okay, now we're going to stick down our inside panel to our card base. Lots of glue. And the reason I've put lots of glue on is because it's anchoring down our floating panels, and I want to make sure that it stays on my card base. So this little panel with the mechanism on the right hand side goes to the right, and the other one goes to the left. And you can see here we want one side of our mechanism to go to the front of the card and one to the back of the card. So it'll be stuck on 3 sides. So again, I'm going to use my liquid glue. That'll give me a little bit of wiggle room, but you can use adhesive tape if you like. Now I want the edge of the top of my floating panel to be at the top of where my white matte layer is inside. And again, then I'll put the second one on the right hand side, and I'll make sure that the bottom of this one is level with the bottom of the white matte inside. So there we go. Make sure it's centered nicely. Want it down towards the bottom, then fold it over, and there we go. It's attached. So the card won't open up the whole way. It only opens up at, I think it's a 90-degree angle. Maths was never my strong point, but it's enough anyway. So okay, I'm going to stick our topper now to the front of our card, and we just want to stick down one side of the topper to one of the panels. That way our card can open. Lovely. I'm just going to put something heavy on that to hold it down so that it can stick to our pattern paper. Okay, so with the belly band, a lot of people will actually measure this out and score it, but I like to fold it. You don't want it so tight on the card that when you take it off you can't get it back on, but you don't want it too loose that it just slides off the card. So there's a happy medium that you'll have to get a feel for yourself when you're putting the belly band around your card. So enough that it slides easily but doesn't slide off. So this is my stamp set, and I have 2 stamps that I'm choosing from this stamp set, as well as one from it that I'm going to put on the belly band. So it's 3 stamps, guys. So the stamp that I'm choosing for the front is a nice long sentiment, a very happy birthday to you. And I have that there. I'm going to stick that down onto the little belly band. Perfect. And I have a little balloon punch in my stash, and I'm going to use some of the blue card and the patterned paper to punch out some little balloons, and these will be my little accents on the card. Just, you know, to kind of pretty it up, but in a masculine kind of way. So I'm going to put 3 little balloons on my belly band. I'm going to put 2 blue ones and one from the patterned paper. I'm going to put a blue one and a patterned paper to the left of the sentiment, and then a little blue one there to the right of the sentiment. And you can put some sparkle pen or, you know, glossy accents or whatever on there, as long as it doesn't impede the opening and closing of your card. So now I'm stamping down my sentiments inside my card. And like I said, I'm confident enough with these stamps. I've used them plenty of times before and I know they stamp well. It's just a little bit of fiddly is all it is. So maybe do this before you put your floating panels on if you're a bit nervous that you won't be able to manage it like I did. So now I'm going to embellish the front of the card using another couple of the balloons. Once I have those little balloons adhered on the inside, again I'll use my micron pen just to draw the little strings of our balloons. So there we go, there's our floating card with the matching belly band. I'm really pleased with this style of card. I think it's so cool. I love a gatefold card. I think they're very unusual. They're not something you'll see in the shops. So I love making them, but I think these 2 little floating panels on the inside just is so cool. I love it, really do love it. And I think that little mechanism that we used from Jennifer Maguire. I think, you could even use the mechanism on the corners. That's another idea for a card coming into my head. I might do that for the next card I make. I hope you've enjoyed my tutorial today, and if you have, you might consider clicking on the like button down below. If you're a subscriber, thanks for subscribing, and if not, you might click on the subscribe button and maybe hit the notification bell as well, so you'll be notified every time I post a new video. I'm going to leave you now with some images of the cards that we've made. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And if you do make one of these cards, I would love for you to tag me on social media so I can see yours. Until next time, crafty friends, stay safe, stay home, and see you next time.